People have visited the moon. There are individuals circling the Earth in a space station right now. Billions of dollars are spent to leave Earth. Yet there's one country that chose to likewise go the alternate way: China. It is determined to wander profound into the actual Earth, yet what are inspirations? Is this a real-world investigation vows to rethink how we might interpret the planet, or are they after the following valuable limited asset? Is it even conceivable to dive profound into the Earth? And all the more significantly, what will China find down there? How profound can they drill? And what are an ideal opportunities for it to release a volcanic display? Anything that could happen. Geologists are becoming amped up for acquiring new knowledge to how we might interpret our planet. This is new nature. And in this video, we attempt to figure out why China needs to bore the world's most profound opening, why past endeavors have fizzled, and what this work could open for science, for mankind, and for the world. In the Sichuan Bowl in the southwest, a portion of China's best specialists are digging an opening that is north of 30,000 ft profound, roughly 9,000 m. That is profound, more profound than any sea, and surprisingly taller than Mount Everest. They've likewise begun one more undertaking in the Tarim Bowl up in northwest China. This one will be considerably more profound. They're wanting to arrive at 36,000 ft profound. That is around 11,000 m, or 0.09% of the world's measurement. In the event that they pull it off, these openings will be probably the most profound at any point dug by people yet. For what reason is China digging so profound? China is on a double mission. On one hand, the objective is logical investigation. Envision the world's hull as a verifiable timetable. Each layer addresses a section in the narrative of our planet's development. By boring into these layers, we're basically going further into Earth's set of experiences, revealing its mysteries layer by layer, and afterward, there are likewise business interests. As profound inside these layers lie possibly rewarding energy. Saves by taking advantage of these lost fortunes, China might get an essential energy source that can fuel its development and improvement. Chinese President Xi Jinping started this profound Earth investigation drive in 2021, underlining its significance to the nation's driving researchers. A definitive objective of this legendary, boring undertaking is to arrive at material that framed in excess of quite a while back. The experiences from these old layers can give valuable information to geoscience research, assisting us with figuring out Earth's inner construction and advancement. This task can possibly alter logical comprehension, as well as to assist with surveying natural dangers. By concentrating on the profound layers, researchers can acquire experiences into ecological perils like seismic tremors and volcanic emissions. When the drill is finished, it may not exactly arrive at similar profundity as the most profound opening people have made. That title actually has a place with the Russian Kola, profound drag opening. It's still around 4 ndaos, 0 ft or 1 kilometer more profound than what China anticipates digging right now to be explicit. The Kola really profound drag opening has a profundity of 40,200 ft, that is around 12,300 m, and it took the Russians over 20 years to get to that profundity. China's aggressive penetrating venture into the world's outside layer may not turn out to be the world's most profound drag opening. Yet it will be a great specialized accomplishment. No doubt, considering the time period during which China intends to finish the drill, yet to comprehend the trouble of boring to such shocking profundities, we really want to rewind and peer down the Kola profound drag opening, the most profound opening people have at any point penetrated. For what reason is it so difficult to penetrate to such extraordinary profundity? These pictures are from the documents of the Pachen region, where this noteworthy undertaking occurred. The task started off in May 1970, and work went on until 1994. Why the long run? They needed to dig 5 separate drag openings altogether because of mechanical disappointments and breakdowns anyway, regardless of these hardware breakdowns and disappointments. The Kola super deep bore opening demonstrated more than beneficial as they tunneled down. Researchers uncovered a few genuine shocks. No, not that they found water and hydrogen at profundities. They hadn't expected likewise at around 19,683. Underneath the surface, they coincidentally found infinitesimal tiny fish fossils, and Russian researchers additionally found water-saturating more prominent profundities than remembered to be conceivable. However, that is not all, as opposed to finding basalt under the landmass's stone, as they expected. Researchers found transformative stone beneath the igneous layer. This sort of rock, changed by intensity and strain, was significant confirmation for the thought of plate tectonics, which was a moderately new hypothesis when they began penetrating the drag opening. This disclosure features how significant these drillings can be in how we might interpret the world's covering anyway. When we zoom out to consider the full size of the Earth plainly, the Kolobor opening, regardless of its great profundity, has scarcely started to expose what's underneath. Yet assuming that we at any point really do venture further down and into the mantle, almost certainly, long-held convictions and thoughts will be tested and changed. So what precisely happens when we adventure much more profound into Earth? On the off chance that the drillers in the long run arrive at the mantle, don't concern. You won't see hot liquid stone spouting up the opening like a volcanic emission. The mantle rocks truly do stream, yet their development is essentially as progressive as the development of a fingernail. The world's mantle lies far below our feet, yet no one has straightforwardly noticed it. Yet our Earth resembles a layered cake, with the mantle being one of its biggest layers to place it into point of view. The outside, the flimsy shell we hit home, makes up only 1% of Earth. Earth's volume, the center made chiefly out of weighty components like iron and nickel, represents a simple 15%. Yet the mantle, it's the heavyweight guaranteeing an incredible 68% of Earth's mass, and a surprising 85% of its volume. It is made from rock, however, and not fluid magma. As you would suspect, under the high temperatures and tensions inside the world's inside, rocks can really stream in spite of the fact that they appear to be static as far as we're concerned, throughout land-time scales. Crossing a long period of time, these stones slowly move. Envision the mantle as a gigantic astrolite. Less, the magma material, close to the limit between the center and mantle, warms up, turns out to be less thick, and rises like air pockets in an astrolite, these light tufts. Excursion towards the world's hull's lower edge. There they stream along the roof until they cool down and advance back towards the center. Yet here's the trick. The mantle developments are unimaginably delayed. As a matter of fact, it would require up to 2 billion years for one full circle from the covering deeply, and back there are still a ton of unanswered inquiries concerning the mantle. A considerable lot of these could be tackled in the event that we figure out how to get to it straightforwardly. For instance, through a drag opening, uncovering an unblemished piece of the mantle would be identical to arriving on the moon in logical terms. It resembles having an easy bypass to translate Earth's starting points. This novel example would uncover the unrefined components from which our planet shaped. In addition, concentrating on the mantle's creation could open the secrets of Earth's development and its development into the mind-boggling planet we know today. Yet how do researchers have any idea that the mantle even exists, and what's really under the surface, while never holding an actual example? Here's the arrangement. Tremors create seismic waves, and by concentrating on their ways and velocities, we can conclude the mantle's thickness, consistency, and properties. Researchers were likewise ready to quantify the rate at which Earth's outside layer returns quickly after a huge ice sheet softens, which offers bits of knowledge into the material science and cycles beneath the surface. Pretty mind-blowing. And by estimating Earth's attractive and gravitational fields, researchers can limit the kinds of minerals and substances where it counts underground. Likewise, researchers have figured out how to get genuine mantle tests, regardless of never having bored that profound. How can this be the case? Here's the arrangement. The mantle tests in our control have set out on noteworthy excursions of their own. Some were shot out by volcanic ejections, others rose through structural plate crashes, and a couple have surfaced along mid-sea edges. Yet here's the trick. Our current mantle tests have been changed by their cooperation with air and seawater, and are presently not equivalent to they were somewhere inside the Earth. That is the reason researchers are on the chase after a piece of the mantle that hasn't been contacted at all. Boring and removing it could open some of Earth. Most profound mysteries look at this as an immaculate mantle test could open privileged insights about thickness and how it conducts heat and seismic waves straightforwardly. Contrasting this and our ebb and flow, suppositions may very well affirm or upset what we assume we know about. The world's mantle, an intriguing chance with such countless unanswered inquiries, thus much secret fortune underneath our feet. Why haven't we wandered further into our own special planet? The explanation is very clear. Endeavors have been made. However, they weren't extremely fruitful. No doubt back during the virus battle there was an energetic contest to penetrate as profound as conceivable. Very much like the space race, the profound wilderness journey in those days was a demonstration of designing. Ability and cutting-edge innovation. The U.S. was the first to jump into profound penetrating in the late 1950 essay gathering known as the American Different Society, comprised of probably the most splendid logical personalities in the U.S., concocted the principal serious game plan to bore down to the world's mantle. Their central goal, called Project Muli, was named after the Mahor-Vicic irregularity, which denotes the limit between the world's outside layer and its mantle. Yet here's where it gets fascinating. As opposed to boring and extraordinarily profound opening, the American undertaking settled on an easy route. They planned to go through the Pacific Sea floor of Guadalupe Island in the Pacific. The benefit is that the world's outside layer is more slender at this area, improving on boring anyway. It requires arriving at the sea's base initial, prior to starting to penetrate into the hull. The Soviets joined the experience on the Kola Promontory in Russia in 1970, while in 1990, the German mainland profound penetrating system started penetrating far below Bavaria, arriving at profundities of 29,800 FET, roughly 99,100 m. Both of these aggressive missions confronted a typical test they needed to develop new advances without any preparation, while the task was at that point well in progress. It's a piece-like structure, a meanderer for a moon mission, while you've proactively got the rocket powered up on the platform, where everything must be planned and made, starting from the earliest stage back in the mid-1960s, when Project Mali expected to bore into the seabed critical penetrating advancements like unique situating, which keeps a drill transport consistent. Over a well just didn't exist around then, so engineers needed to get creative and found arrangements like adding propellers to their drill boat to keep it stable over the drag opening. One of the key difficulties the German designers confronted was keeping their drag openings as vertical as potential. They found an answer that is currently utilized wherever in the oil and gas industry. One more extraordinary illustration of the circuitous advantages from aggressive logical ventures regardless of their fantastic endeavors. These boring missions confronted various difficulties. They had bogus beginnings, blockages, and fought very high temperatures, profound underground. The expenses could winding wild, and the political scene frequently muddled matters. These obstacles made it extreme for researchers to jump significantly more profound and set new standards. For example, 2 years before Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon, the U.S. Congress needed to drop Project Mo opening because of expanding costs. Then there's the account of the Kola really profound drag opening. For what reason did the flow record holder not get any further? Down penetrating halted in 1999-2 when temperatures startlingly arrived at 180 degrees C, or on the other hand, 356 degrees. This serious intensity was something beyond a minor bother. It drove their penetrating hardware to the edge. The hardware started to flounder and the boring tools broken down rapidly. Under such outrageous circumstances, boring further into the drag opening implied requiring new costly innovations for lessening logical increases. Financial plan. That was just as of now not accessible with the breakdown of the Soviet Association. 3 years after the fact, the whole office was closed down today. It's an objective for courageous travelers, yet the German drag opening has had an alternate destiny. Its gear is as yet standing, and the site has turned into a vacation destination activity. The monstrous drill rig has been reused into a crane that brings down instruments for estimation. The U.S. likewise didn't completely stop its penetrating endeavors after Project Mehol. It at last sent off the remote Ocean Boring venture that worked from 1968 to 1983. This worldwide program was an immense achievement. It essentially progressed our geographical information, giving basic proof to mainland float. Furthermore, ocean bottom spreading these discoveries were instrumental in certifying the hypothesis of plate tectonics and set up for future sea-boring undertakings. And presently, after numerous years, China has taken the twirly-do, flagging its status for progress by starting work on 2 profound openings. They are saying something toward the Western world. China stands apart with significant monetary assets and a generally short task timetable of around 15 months. They are good to go for progress, and may break new records in the event that they accomplish their objectives with these 2 drills. Will they go the subsequent stage and attempt to arrive at the world's mantle for the present? We'll notice and perceive how they progress with these 2 openings. While some of it very well may be politically spurred, these penetrating undertakings are principally about pushing how we might interpret our planet on a more profound level. Each new layer we reveal adds to our aggregate insight, thinking back through the historical backdrop of bore openings, plainly boring. Profound isn't just about digging openings. It's tied in with fulfilling a profound craving to be aware, the obscure to see what's never been seen, and to go where nobody has gone before. In this steady pursuit, we frequently find startling answers for our most basic difficulties. One such potential advancement is the revelation of a strong, undiscovered clean energy source, one that doesn't come from the skies. Yet from the profundities of the planet, very basic geothermal energy covered up to 20 kilometers underneath the world's surface, lies this monster normal battery. This energy source is pretty much as powerful as petroleum derivatives and as perfect as sun-oriented. Wind or hydro with a more modest land impression, print offering benefits like saving woodlands and safeguarding untamed life. In the event that we could get to very basic geothermal energy on a worldwide scale, it could lift billions from energy destitution, fundamentally lessen ozone-depleting substance emanations, and make a huge number of occupations. All we want to do presently is to beaten this designing test of exciting to such extraordinary profundity.